And so I think I'm going to go ahead and get started. And anyone that's not here, sorry, love you. Come back and do the replay. Okay, so for you guys that don't know me and you're new to my broadcast, my name is Tori Torres. I am a serial entrepreneur, social media and digital marketing strategist, author, podcast host, designer to the stars, boss babe blogger, and super mommy to Christian and Carmelo, my babies. I have run my business online successfully for 16 years selling bling, okay? I've been featured on VH1, MTV, Bravo TV, Project Runway, House of DBF. I built major influence with my audience. I'm invited out to LA yearly, literally for like the last over 10 years, where I'm one of like 17 companies that are represented backstage at like the official suites for celebrities, okay? I've attended the Grammys, BET, MTV, the hoodies, and my products are seen and used by some of the biggest celebrities. Rihanna, Taylor Swift, Khloe Kardashian, NeNe Leakes, to name a few of my celebrity clients, okay? All of that to tell you, I sell my products in a way that I describe as selling smarter, by simplifying your offers to sell more, okay? I teach you how to build influence with your audience that converts and how to monetize your passion, okay? So, something that I've noticed in the past several weeks, with my audience, something that I've noticed that I want to cover with you guys today. How many of you guys feel like you have an audience that pays attention and that's engaged with you? Let me know if that's you. Send me some diamonds if you feel like your audience does pay attention and that they engage with you regularly. And send me some hearts if you feel like you're still not getting that. Hi. Awesome. Okay, so awesome. How many of you, honestly, tell me honestly, how many of you feel like you were giving your full attention to your audience? Send hearts if you guys feel like you are giving your full attention to your audience. Where would you say, like, if you're being completely honest, that you are, would you say you're more on the hunt for new customers, or you are really focused on the audience that you currently have? Those are some things that I want you to think about and consider as we go through this live today, okay? So as I've been helping my audience, okay, you need to do better in that area, okay. You're not alone, okay, both. Yeah, so I've noticed that a good amount of my audience, are more concerned about getting more followers than they are with conversating with the followers that they currently have. Okay, both, okay. So with that, a lot of my audience also has told me since we've been getting ready for Black Friday and we've been doing like these email sequences and everything, a lot of people say that they don't have a list to communicate with or to create email sequences for. So that could be an issue. So with that, these are my suggestions today to nurturing the audience that you already have and creating influence over that group, okay? So I talk a lot about influence. The reason is because influence is how I got Posh Life Bling in hands of television reality stars, singers, fashion houses, A-list, okay? You get a lot of DMs, okay? Good. By creating influence, your audience begins to look for you. Think about the TV shows that you find yourself drawn to, right? It's not always the best looking person or the smartest person or even the person with the best personality, to be quite honest. The person with the most notoriety is the one who is able to influence their audience the best. It's just that simple. Y'all know, y'all be logging onto those housewives to see them go in at each other. And what's the other one? The basketball wives and all those other ones. Evelyn Lozada, Tammy Roman. Like, it's not always. Sometimes they're mean girls, you know, and you log on because influence is intentional, okay? It gets into your psyche, and it influences your whole day and your behaviors. Influence influences how you dress, how you speak. Let me know if that resonates with you guys at all. How you talk, who you roll with, influence is an extremely powerful tool, okay? And if you can hone in on the skill of creating influence through very specific and very intentional steps, you can also, you can also create that within your business. Awesome. So if you currently have an audience, that means that if there is literally one individual following your page, one individual liking your photos, then you have the unique opportunity to influence that person and potentially grow your audience. I know no one wants to focus on the one person, but I'm telling you, this is how you scale it. So people will generally follow you, promote you, mention you to their friends and the people that trust them if you've created enough influence over them. So with that, my question to you is, why aren't you creating influence with the audience that you already have? Okay, so with that, here are 3 ways that you can begin to, right now, nurture the audience that you currently have, because that is how you grow. So this weekend, I talked to a friend who has struggled for like hours. We were on the phone. Has struggled with the idea of how to connect their audience, okay? So it's always a good idea to begin with your story, right? When you're talking to your audience, especially begin with a story, not like your story every time, but to begin with a story, an opener, what do they call it? An icebreaker, okay? Especially when you're going live. But even if you're doing an email sequence, if you're doing a microblog on Twitter or Instagram, connect with the story, okay? So the story is basically gonna be what your message is about in the end. So if someone's a writer and an author and a Christian and a vegan, I've used her before, slightly introverted, her question is, where do I begin? How do I combine all of the different elements of myself into this brand? Do people want to know about all those other things? And how do I include them all on one page? Does anyone struggle with that? You've got several different things that you cover. You've got a vast subject matter that you are interested in, and you feel like you have a really broad target audience. Okay, let me know if that's you. So that is a very valid and very power-packed question. So how do you begin to connect with your audience? Number 1, you ask them. You connecting to your audience, it's not about you, it's about them. So you're going to conversate with your audience to find out what they want from you, why they follow you, and how you can meet their need, want, and desire. Now, I know the next question you're going to ask me is, how do I ask them? Okay. So, okay, in my friend's case, she clearly has a lot of different places that she can come from. And because they are all a part of her, and what makes her an author and what makes her interesting, they will all go together. So I know, like for me, my mommy, she always says, like when I design my house, I have a very specific aesthetic. Okay, I like sparkly stuff, anything that's crystal and sparkly and glittery, okay? But I also love, so I'm very like feminine and girly, but I also love big, bold pieces of furniture. I love pink, I love teal, and I legitimately live for animal print. Okay, yeah, I love sparkle. See, seriously. So really like 50% of my house is covered in animal print. So, but amazingly, it all goes together. Okay, it all flows. I buy what I love. So if I'm lukewarm about something, I don't buy it. This is how it connects. Okay, right. I go 100% into what I love, and amazingly, it all flows together. It's the same thing with your social media. It's the same thing, especially with your Instagram feed, okay? They're all parts of what make her interesting. So you don't have to be one thing. You combine those things and you combine everything, but you do it in a very strategic way. And that is how you create your niche market, okay? The thing that makes you stand out or makes you different or makes her different in this case than any other author, okay? So the trick here is to really get creative about how you put your, how you ask your customer what they want from you and why they're following you. And this can be done in like A/B testing, okay? Split testing. So You're not going to have all of the answers immediately. You're going to need to sit down, construct the questions in a creative and engaging way so that your customer wants to answer you. That will define your target audience, the ones who interact, okay? So one way is a new method that Instagram has made available in pretty recently, a couple months now. How many of you guys are using the polls option? Let me know if you're using polls when you are posting your stories. So you can create polls and send them out on your stories to your audience that get them to pay attention, and all it takes is a tap for them to respond to you. They don't have to hit a reply button. They don't have to write an email. It's just a little tiny tap on the story that they're already viewing. So, okay. So when people actually take the time to view, oh my goodness, yeah, you're missing a good opportunity. When people take the time to view your stories, that's a good indicator, Wendy, especially for the page that you're going to be working on right now for your friend. That's a great way to gain attention because they're already engaged. So anyone who's going through your story is going to be someone who's interested in what you have to offer, okay? But beyond that, you can check the stats. And if you're getting any views at all, then you have the opportunity to convert that customer. If you send out a picture, and this one is for you, Alicia. I told you I had something for you today. So if you're getting views, right, you have, so, okay, what was I gonna say? Okay, so you have to figure out, if you send out a picture of like your coffee cups and people are viewing them and they're liking the photos, then you need to figure out why they're not going to the next step. And it's very simple. Ask them. Number one, ask them what makes you choose your favorite cup, right? Number one, is it color or size? Call to action that's going to instantly answer your question to people who are following you that know you sell cups, coffee mugs, really cute ones too, by the way. Okay. Number two, how would you say you choose your coffee cups? Like when you go, where do you buy them? Do you choose based on size? I said that. So where do you buy them? What's your favorite store to buy coffee cups? Okay, you can have two separate questions for that, I guess, because now you're getting detailed information about your audience. Again, when all they need is a little tap, so it's not going to be like they've got to spend all this time investing in answering your question because they haven't really invested that much into you yet. But I guarantee people will freaking hit a tap to respond to your question, okay? So thank you. Like me, I love Betsey Johnson cups. Most of the coffee cups that I have are Betsey Johnson coffee cups, okay? Do not be coming up in my live stream sending your craziness. Take it somewhere else. She's not here for it, okay? Thank you. So they're the cups that I love, like they're girly, they're colorful, they're pink and gold and white usually, which are my favorite colors, which you will find around the house. So do you see how those things come together, how those things work? Use the poll questions in order to get those answers from your audience, okay? So the next way that you can influence and nurture your audience is by using stories beyond like the poll question. So your Instagram feed is very still. So unless you have like tons of videos, which most people aren't using Instagram with tons of videos, although video is definitely the way that things are progressing. And they say that, I believe it's like 84% videos get more, like 84% more interaction than just visual and copy, okay? But so unless you have tons of videos in your feed, it's generally more like stagnant. So it's like, ideally, thank you guys. So your story is where you're gonna have the opportunity to get really creative. And that's how you're gonna introduce to your audience, you know, the fact that, like for my earlier example, you're vegan or Christian and an author. So you're gonna show visuals, interactive ads, all about your life in the background. So the person who otherwise wouldn't know you or have any insight as to all of those things that make you you and all of those interests, now they get to know you beyond just like your static, non-moving Instagram feed. So let me know if that makes sense. So in stories, there's also analytics, like I said, and we know that's one of my favorite things. I love my analytics because they take the guesswork out of building your business, right? So you get to see where people are going. You get to see where they're swiping, okay? You get to see how many visitors came to the link from your feed. How many of you guys have actually gone into your statistics on Instagram, in your swipe, in your stories? Like if you go into your stories, let me know if you guys are using that feature. If you've gone in to look at your stories and actually see the statistics around them, okay? Awesome. Yes, you can see exactly where the person is coming and where they're going, what they're swiping past. And sometimes it's just people swiping, but sometimes, especially you can see if they click the links, it gives you detailed information. Yeah, it's just a no-brainer using analytics because it helps you figure out what you can create more of, okay? So use your stories to create influence and nurture the audience consistently. All my friend will need to do, like I said, is include the things that she loves in her background, and she can use her analytics to see where the most interest is taking place or where the disinterest and the disconnect is happening. Okay, that's how you engage the audience that you already have. So Alicia, that one was for you. I hope you caught all that. Okay, so moving on. Number 3 is to nurture your audience with live streams. Okay, so okay, I just saw the screen move. So here's the thing, even go live, even if no one else is there. Okay, good. Who cares? Seriously, like I said about live streaming, act like Oprah or like Shark Tank, one of the people on, like Lori is watching you, okay? When you go live, even if it's only one person that comes to watch you and interact with you, that one person is there. Make it worth their while, okay? Because all it takes is one customer to roll into 1,000 customers. If you treat that customer like they're worth 1,000, okay? That's a big thing. So when I first started live streaming, there was like 1 or 2 people that came into the room. And a lot of times it'll look like no one's in the room while you're on, and you won't even know how many people have actually seen you until the end, okay? So it didn't matter through the whole broadcast. I didn't care. I totally shut up. Awesome. Oh, okay. That's right. You did. I saw your story this morning. You did. It was good. So, like the people who were initially coming on, they didn't know me. I'd never done the live. I had done like some stories a little bit to kind of introduce myself because I was trying to like avoid going live. I didn't want to do it either. Okay. And they were wondering, like, I'm sure, why can I help them? Well, they didn't know what I had to offer. And by me being consistent and going on every single time with the energy of whoever is there, I'm going to engage them. And that has made my page grow exponentially. So now, by the time I get off of lives, I have about 150 people on average that have come into the broadcast. And then that number increases over the 24 hours because people can watch it at their leisure. So everyone can't come in and watch my 2:15 broadcast. But it's the time that a good amount of my audience told me that they want me to keep. So, and it works really well into my life before the boys come in. On days that Christian has practice, I've got time to just go on live and talk to everyone and not worry about the boys coming in and distracting me, which some of you saw the other night because I did a late stream or something. Oh, I think maybe I was on with the Diamond Girls, and they were making jokes, and everyone thinks it's cute except me. So, but yeah, like I said, even last week, I was thinking like last week with the live that I did, and I was like, okay, where is everyone? Yeah, yes, Money, you know how entertaining they can be. Yes. And Caesar the Pug, it's always fun. So even last week, a lot of you girls were on when I did the live. And I was talking and I was like, where are my girls today? Nobody was talking to me. And so I thought, because I had tapped the screen at one point for some reason. And when I tapped it, it froze my screen. So now I can't see anything moving up. So it was hilarious that at some point I tapped the screen again because I kept getting notifications. So I tapped it again, and then I scrolled up and there was a whole freaking page full of comments and stuff that I missed out on. because my audience, you guys know I'm usually interactive. So it was really kind of funny, but I was not, the point is I wasn't going to stop broadcasting just because I thought that the room might be empty. Okay. And luckily I didn't, because my audience has grown so much over the last few months, like 2.5 months maybe since I've been broadcasting. And I don't know that it would have grown that much so quickly if I had not come on. Also, in addition to that, I offer all of those videos on my YouTube page. Y'all know I believe in YouTube, okay? And it's funny, I keep hearing more people talking about going back to YouTube, and I'm like, I've been telling y'all for months now, get back over there. But my live streams are paid now, and they offer tons of value and tons of content that people can just pop in and watch it whenever they want at their leisure and play them back. So isn't that like a great analogy for life? Like, always bring your best self, no matter who shows up for it, because it does pay off for you and for them. So yeah, so whether my audience shows up or whether they don't, I go on and I'm going to broadcast live. I'm going to offer value this live. Who's going on live consistently now? Let me know if you guys are going on. But so they can be, I want them to be able to be offered to the new people who continue to come in. Every day I'm getting new signups on my lists. And I know that when I don't go live, it's lower. The numbers are lower. And when I do go live, it's crazy, the difference in the followers. And you guys know, okay, just story. Well, we'll have to get you creating some interesting stories and make sure that you're growing. And I didn't see it. Oh, I looked for yours. Oh my God, I felt so bad because we had a Christian Carmelo and Caesar problem yesterday. And so I was downstairs cooking, making dinner. And it was like, I must have gone down to the bottom to my kitchen area, like around 4:20. And I started cooking. And then all of my stuff wasn't downstairs in my office. So I was like, oh my God, I cannot believe. I get back upstairs after dinner, after everything is done, all the drama's done. And the drama is what kept me downstairs. And then I picked up one of my phones, and then I was like, oh, I missed the Lewis live stream. But then I looked for the live and I didn't see it. Did you save it and resend it back up? Because I totally felt so bad. But I promise I'll be there for the next one. So finally, the number 4 way that you can nurture your current audience. I know I said 3 initially, y'all, but I was thinking while we were talking, I was like, okay, so I know. One thing that really, really bothers me is pity. Oh gosh, okay. And don't y'all get mad at me, because you're gonna feel me in a second when I really explain it. Okay, it's gonna make sense. I don't like people who brag, and I don't like people who are pitiful. Oh, you deleted it. Okay, I was like, oh, I was actually kind of relieved before that I didn't miss it. I was like, oh, good, because I wouldn't want her to think that I missed her. But that's why you have to stream with YouTube in the background, so you never ever miss one. That's it. Because what you could have done if you had streamed to YouTube at the same time is that link. You could have taken your YouTube link and just said, hey, catch my live. Excuse me. In your story, you could have gone, hey, catch my live from today, and people would have still been able to see it from the link. So that's why it's always a good idea to do YouTube and Instagram at the same time. That's the perfect example. So you don't accidentally delete. You just always, because that's value, especially if you spend a good amount. I spend almost an hour usually an hour at least on my lives. Okay, so because I know what that feels like. I've done it. I've accidentally deleted, or my phone had too much crap in it, so it wouldn't save the live stream. So that's how you make sure that you can save your live. Get your YouTube popping. I'm live streaming on YouTube right now while I'm talking to you guys, so that it gets saved, and then I can make it private or unlisted, and then I can sell them later, okay? And that's value that I haven't lost. Okay, so like I was saying, my number 4 thing is I can't stand people who brag and people who are pitiful, okay? Because nobody wants to watch that on a live stream except other people who are pitiful, okay? And they're not good for your energy overall. Now, guys, don't get mad at me, okay? Seriously, I want you to understand exactly what I mean. So this is deep. This is big. So you create influence by answering someone's solution. So if your solution to someone's pity is more pity, then that's a complete recipe for disaster, okay? No one's growing, no one's evolving. So here's a perfect example of how to take a situation and flip it. So I have another client, excuse me, she's gone through a very extremely tragic situation in her life, and I don't know that I could have survived it, right? So something we talked about together was developing her brand to create influence by her pain and her loss. Now, hear me out on this one. So this is something she wasn't really talking about before, and she kind of mentioned it in passing. But it's such a big part of who she is that I feel like it's holding back her growth and her business, quite honestly, by not using it, because things happen to us for a reason. And as horrible as that can be when those things are really horrible. See, here I go getting goosies. As horrible as that can be when you've gone through something terrible, it can also, on the other side of that, be incredibly powerful, okay? So I believe that she can tell her story in a way that inspires people who can be who've gone through the same loss. So there's nothing wrong with having hardships, and sad things happen to you because they happen to all of us in different ways. We all can say that we've been through major pain, and if we can't, I want to know who you are, right? The purpose comes from how you deal with that pain and how you use that pain to influence the people in your audience, okay? What connects people to other people is pain, struggle, shared emotional experiences. It can be positive ones. That's what draws us to each other. Send me a diamond, or if you guys agree with that. The shared experiences and emotional bonds tie us together. Let me know if you agree with me. So, but beyond that, yes, right? Beyond that, it's what also keeps you right on the level with people. So, good, okay. So you're on the same level when you have a shared experience, okay? Now here's the level up. Here's the level up. What elevates you and allows you to create influence over that person is what you have done, okay? So what elevates you is what you have done with your pain and your struggle and your experiences. That's what moves you into a different place, okay? So my client took her pain and decided to wear it, like literally, okay? So what we decided to do in her business is let her shirts allow people to express what they have been through. So she's not selling t-shirts. And this is what I told her. You're not selling t-shirts. You're sharing experiences. Your audience will get to share their story and their experiences through the shirts that you create for them. So she's essentially selling emotions, okay? And there's nothing more powerful than emotion. Emotion is what drives us. Whether it's positive emotion or negative emotion, it's literally what drives us daily. So you tell your stories, you begin to go live and begin to create the coinciding stories on Instagram, okay? I want you to consider how you share your story. Now catch this, last thing on that point. How you share your story is actually more important than the story itself. I'm just saying, drops mic. Drops mic. So are you going to tackle the pain? Are you going to persevere through trials and hardships and struggle? I've shared some of my hardest hardships with you guys on here, and the only thing that made me survive was the fact that I fucking literally refused to fail and fall, okay? There was no way I was gonna lose. Like, I was all Jay-Z about it, like, I will not lose, okay? For literally 2 years, every single day, I would go and run, because it was the only thing that I could do to keep myself from being miserable and devastated about where my life was. I would put on my headset, like on repeat. All I do is win, 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 no matter what. Like, legitimately every single day on my run, the whole run through the neighborhood, that's what I played in my head. So 6 a.m. every morning, that was the message that I was pounding into my brain, okay? And not the other song that I just mentioned, that I will not lose, because that's a double negative, and I could get all into that, but y'all don't have all day for me to get off onto one of my tangents. So all I do is win. That was it. I'm going to leave you with that, that note on that. Okay. I believe in speaking positive. So all I do is win no matter what was my mantra. And I played every morning, no matter how shitty I felt. Okay. I've been there. I could have ended there, but I refused. And no, my pain might not have been the same pain as somebody else's, but it was mine, okay? And it hurt like a mother, like seriously. Don't get me started. So, like I said, but I refused to stop there. So that's what I want you to do. Think about how you're going to share your pain in a positive way. You're a survivor. You're not a survivor. You're a conqueror. And that's how I want you to move, as a conqueror, okay? So those are my 4, not 3 suggestions on nurturing the audience that you already have. And all of that equates to gratitude. Were y'all wondering when I was going to get to gratitude? Gratitude changes everything. Why are you going to be blessed with a new audience or a new customer, new client, if you're not nurturing the ones that you already have? Yes, honey, a conquering survivor. I will take that. If your audience doesn't mean enough in small numbers, why should you be upgraded to larger numbers, right? If your audience isn't recommending you to other people or referring you to the people they know or whatever, then you have not influenced them, okay? So show your gratitude by nurturing your current audience. So current offers, this is where we are this week. Number 1, we've got the... Let me know if you guys got that, if that made sense to you. And yeah. So I have the $25 story shout outs, just so you guys know. If you've already ordered yours, I saw some came in this morning. Email me the content that you want posted so that I can get those started. And let me know if you have a specific day that can go with your like, so when I post it live on my stories, it's going to connect to you, but you need to, I would prefer that you have an offer so it makes sense. So the customer can go right to whatever offer that you have up. Okay. That's the best way to do shout outs. Already have whether it's your digital lead magnet or whatever. Okay. Awesome. So I've spent the last several weeks, thank you for the super hearts. I've spent the last several weeks helping you guys brand, identify your target audiences, create compelling content with great visuals and copy, develop email sequences using MailChimp, ConvertKit, and landing pages with SamCart. Woo, all to help you get better conversions. We've also covered, of course, the beginning stages of creating influence over your audience. Now this week, you're ready to make offers with your great visuals and your great copy and your bomb email sequences, okay? So last night I offered the freebie for email subjects for the week. They also have some other pointers in there, but they're mainly for the email subject. So if you don't have that yet, you can click the link in my bio and get yourself the free download to help you guys with your email subject lines. Of course, those are still, you can still get that from the bio, okay? So, but by now you are ready for exposure. So if you want to get some exposure this week, awesome, good. And they go with the email templates. So anyone who got the email templates, you can use them together. So also, the Power Players group is shaping up very nicely. Keep in mind that admission into the Facebook group is free only until January 4th when the class goes live. However, we are in the group. We're active, daily content uploads. All things are available for you to do now. So the Power Players is really about leveling up in 2018, okay? Scaling your business using some very specific, very intentional techniques to help you grow your brand. So we are already getting started in there. In all of December, I'm gonna have worksheets to help the Power Players group get set up for January. So don't wait, okay? It's for people who are serious about scaling up in 2018. I'm extremely hands-on in all my groups. My Diamond Girls can tell you. And I might be a little bit bossy, but I'm gonna be way more intense in this group. So, oh, I fixed it, babe. Yeah, it sold out in an hour. It did. It did. I had 50 up, but I was like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and open it up for just a little while longer. So you're able to go ahead and get the $25 shout out now. So if you want to do the exposure, go ahead and do that, babe. It's open now. It sold out so fast. I got a notification. I was like, what? You know? So I went ahead and opened it back up. So yes, with the new group, with the Power Players group, I wanted you guys to, Monica, of course, my Monty at the Get Fit Chick is going to be extremely active in the group to counteract my crazy, okay, to keep you guys mentally, physically healthy, like get your sexy, get your life, okay, but also to maintain structure. She's extremely great at helping structure and organize things. She's amazing at branding. I did a couple ads for her when we first met. That's how we met on Instagram, and she became one of my magazine writers. So and that's Diamond Girls, the magazine. You guys check us out if you haven't checked us out. We have made the magazine free for the next 6 months to allow people to see the magazine a little bit more. It's starting to grow. I showed them the conversions on Sunday. I sent them an inbox with a view of the conversions, and everyone was really excited. So we thought, okay, let's just let it get a little bit more exposure. And so yeah, Monty will be a part of the Power. She is a part of the Power Players group and helping you keep yourself together, mindset and physical and healthy eating and all of those things that we need as women in tech running our e-businesses, right? Okay. So like I said, the Power Players group is meant to push you to your limits and challenge you and force you to level up. So if you join it, you already know that that's what you're going to be experiencing. I tell people all the time, I can give you all the tools, but if you don't implement them, you won't see changes. When you implement them, you see the changes because you see from the reviews and the things that my girls are saying when they come on live, okay? So if you use the strategies, they will make changes in your business, okay? So if you are ready to level up with the Power Players group, go ahead and you can tap the link in the bio to do that as well, okay? So me too, the one thing you guys probably don't know about me, my Diamond Girls do, but I'm also a full-time student. I'm getting my master's. And I'm taking a course in digital marketing as well, because I don't believe you should ever stop learning. You know, that could be going to school. It can be learning through just purchasing books on the subjects that you want to learn more about. Who has taken at least one course in the last weeks? Who's taken? Send me some hearts if you guys have taken one course in the last 3 weeks. I know that that could be training courses as well. It could be online courses. I understand everyone can't go back to school because they have to work. I get that. And that's why people like me are here to help teach you the things that we're learning and using in our businesses that are growing our businesses exponentially, okay? So when I say I intend to retire in 5 years, y'all, I'm not kidding, okay? When the boys are done with middle school and high school, Mello is done with middle school this year, and Christian has 2 more years in high school, and then, Melo's going to high school. When I say 5 years, I'm not kidding. I intend to give myself a major, much-needed, very well-deserved break. For the last 16 years, I have hustled with Posh Life Bling. I have done amazing things. I have, like I said, been featured on this show, that show, this celebrity client, whatever, made this amount of money. And now I'm ready. I'm good. I want to relax. So, I only started this portion of the Posh Girls Club in late June. And like I said, I originally wanted to sell the planners for social media since I use my social media to grow that page to about 300,000 followers. So my planners were meant to help people structure their lives in a way that I did so they can create that type of influence over their audience. However, clearly there was a bigger purpose and a plan. And that's why you have to be willing to go where things lead you, because you just don't know when the purpose is bigger than you. So I was asked, how did I get to that level? In 2015, I wrote, how did you do that? By selling blinged out phone cases? Well, for one, back then I could sell 10 for $10,000. So it was a different market. And then I had to figure out how to scale that by selling to 1,000 people every month, $55 a month per case. So I figured out how to continue to make myself relevant and keep myself relevant by scaling and getting a factory and doing all those sorts of things, okay? And I answered that question that people kept asking me because I kept getting it and I was tired of typing it or talking about it on the phone when my clients called me. I put it in a book. And that was the guide to becoming the ultimate entrepreneur. It was not very good to start because I mean, I'm a good writer, but it wasn't a very good developed book at the time. I've gone back and since edited it, but yes, start a product of the month. Do that. I mean, I'm telling you the things that I've done so that you can do that, or figure out how you can structure it into your business. I love that. I love that. Or, you know, some places do like the little kits, like even Vistaprint, where you can have your product like a monthly sort of subscription, like 25 bucks a month or something, and your products can go out. Yes, figure out how you can scale what you're doing and pull yourself out of it a little bit, even automation with the shipping and stuff. So that is what you do you lower the price a little, because when I started doing the case of the month, let's go back to that since that resonated. I started doing them at $100 because from 1,000 to 100 is a big deal. All I did was change the pieces that I used for the designs. Okay. So instead of using expensive pieces and like thousands of like chunky pieces, I just scaled the design down some, used pieces that were a little bit less expensive. Instead of Swarovski, I did glass. Okay. And I always have the Swarovski option, but as the market changed and people were seeing the non-Swarovski, then I didn't have to offer those. Okay. So, there you go. Exactly. Isn't that what I told you to do the other day? Yes. Figure out how to incorporate coffee into it. Sell them in kits. I could see like your little mug with the little clear coffee bean bag. Like my mommy loves to make her own coffee in the morning. Like anybody got time for that. Like she grinds it up and everything. Okay. She is Miss Fancy with her little tiny little teacup collections, and I can't. Okay. But she would totally love something like that. So yes, I could see like the clear little bag of the, and this is how you scale it and you make it a luxury product. Well, my case of the month is something, and Leisha, to finish on that thought really quickly before I answer Aluma, with some pretty ribbon and the little hang tag, like I showed you my tags. Beautiful. The presentation is how you get people, especially right now. Do that now, this week. I want you to do that. You're welcome, babe. In Aluma, my case of the month is I tried it as a subscription and it didn't work that way. I don't think people wanted to be held to the 100. It was 100 a month first. It was $99 a month, right? So that worked sort of, kind of, but not nearly the way that I wanted it to. So I was selling it to about 300 people a month, that $100 case of the month, that one particular item. And I was like, okay, there's another way that I can scale this. How can I do that? And so I cut the price of the case of the month and made it $55 a month, $55, $65, depending on the design. Usually it's $55 a month. And I was able to get consistently 1,000 people monthly that buy that particular product for the last couple of years. So it makes a huge difference. And I don't have to do the work anymore either. That's the other great part of it, is that it comes done. And if I have to add one or two things to a specific design, that's nothing, as opposed to like sitting and designing 1,000 cases every month. Like, who's doing that? No. So that's what I did. So figure out a product. And I could have sworn I talked to you about that, but maybe I didn't. So figure out a product that you can offer, to your audience. I think we did talk about it when you did your initial, but we've covered so much stuff that you probably forgot. When you did your initial branding session with me, we were saying like, choose one product, especially a product that you, in your analytics, you know that people, need, want, or desire. Go through your analytics, see what your best sellers are, and repeat. There was something I was online to buy earlier today, and I was like, it said discontinued. I was like, why? I buy this monthly. There've got to be other people that want this as much as I do every month. Bomb. That is everything. Yes, honey. Yes, I love it. I'm adding Girl Boss quotes on my tags. That's beautiful. It totally goes with your branding and who you are, and it's inspired. I love it. Like, I've been trying to think of a product that I want to offer for the Posh Girls Club. Like, I was thinking about I ordered these little pieces like Boss. It had like gold and black little charms that said Boss on them, and I thought maybe I could have them do a but I want to play around with some designs over the weekend, so it'd be like Girl Boss inspired or Posh Girls Club let's get it right, inspired designs, like cases, because I still sell them, but it would definitely be for that specific audience of my girl bosses. So it's just some ideas to help get you going, and help you think about other ways of nurturing your audience. Okay. So I love that, Leisha. I think that's an amazing idea. So all that being said, you guys have several places to go today. Okay. Number one, you can get your free template for your email subjects download. That is a free download. It's not too late. Okay. It's funny that today I was going through my emails and Vistaprint actually had the first email subject of my template for their subject line. I just kind of giggled to myself like, she knows what she's talking about. I'm just saying. So number two, so yeah, if you want to get those email templates, tap the link in my bio. It's like the second option under the first button. Okay, so number two, you can get your shout out for $25. I'm only doing a small amount of them because I don't want to overwhelm my own audience. Okay, so if you want that shout out on the page, they're half off. Yeah, so do that. Same thing, tap the link in the bio. And then number three, Power Players, okay? Power Players on Facebook. You're gonna get the Power Players Toolkit for free when you sign up. And it's gonna be an ongoing, the Power Players is gonna be ongoing just like my Diamond Girls, okay? It's gonna be a full course, but it's also gonna be a permanent segment of my business, okay? So that freebie is called Open Tabs. It's gonna give you all of the platforms that I use daily to run my business and businesses. And then you're gonna be in the private Facebook group that is free until January 4th, okay? So if you sign up before January 4th, you can be in that group for free forever. If you don't, then it's going to be a paid group because I offer tons of value in my groups, tons. And it feels like a job a lot of the time because I try to answer every single question. And if I miss one, I miss it, but if they tag me in it, I answer it. So that way I can make sure I'm not missing anything. Okay. That's it. Sign up. Be boss about it. Let's go. Okay. That's it for today, girls. If you don't have any other questions, give you a sec to see if anybody's got questions. As always, I want to provide you girls value because I want to see you win. And I believe that it's possible if you set intention on your goals. You're very welcome, Alimwa. You're very welcome. And that's it. That's it for today, I guess. Keep hustling, girls. I'll see you later. Thank you. Thank you, babe. You're welcome. Bye, Wendy. See you guys later. I stopped you.